up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
Thank you so much. This is just going to be another incredible Thursday. You got to make sure that you listen the entire day today because it's off the hook as always. Thank you, too, for all the feedback that we got in regards to the Make-A-Wish organization co-founder that was recently on, and also Apple and Pepsi CEO. So be sure, again, go to our website, Eliances.com, and you can certainly review those interviews. But wait until you hear this story. All right, he built a company from scratch, all right, into a $350 million in sales before he sold it. Not impressed? Okay. Well, then he became the CEO of the company who acquired the one he sold it to. Not impressed? All right. He grew sales from $800 million to $2 billion over the next 5 years. And we're going to learn the magic of how this was done today with Jim Estill, the CEO of Danby Appliances, and you could reach him at Dnb.com. Again, CEO of Dnb Appliances. So, Jim, good morning to you. Now, why is the trunk of a car the most important feature of an automobile and to you?
Well, at the time I started my business, I was in university, in a university dorm, and my safest place for my computer products, which is what I was selling, was the trunk of my car. So that was my first warehouse, and that was my office, and that's how I transported things and moved them out to sell.
So the first item you sold out of your trunk was what?
I was selling mostly memory chips back then for IBM PCs and coprocessors and computer parts.
Now, this really led into the whole thing of it becoming Danby, right?
Well, actually, no. I grew that business. That's when I grew to $2 billion, and I became CEO of Danby after I retired. So I retired and came back to work as CEO at Danby Appliances later.
And why come back? What was the motivation for that?
Well, I realized after being retired for a short time that being in business, I was too young to retire was the gist of it. I'm still too young. I enjoy doing business. I enjoy working, and so that's why I came back.
So tell us about Danby Appliances.
So we're a manufacturer and distributor of bar fridges, wine coolers, microwaves, air conditioners, basically home appliances, usually on the smaller size of large home appliances. So it's the bar fridge that fits under your counter, and it's the one you'll have in your basement or your garage, not generally your primary refrigerator.
Now, Jim, you've got a lot of products on your site. I've been there and I mean, real easy to navigate around. What's one of the most popular items?
Well, the most popular thing is just an old-fashioned bar fridge. That's the most popular. One of the ones that's really hot these days, though, is Danby Fresh, which is a herb grower that is basically like a small greenhouse about the size of a wine cooler, because we started making those from wine cooler shells, and that's very topical. Everyone's talking about that, and that's an interesting way to grow herbs at home.
And who are you targeting for that? I saw that online. I was like, wow, that's a really cool. Is the front part too? Is it all glass that allows you to see what's inside, or?
Yeah, it's glass front, and so you can see what's inside. It has grow lights, and you're targeting the home health person, the home gardener that wants to have something neat. Someone in a condo wants to grow their own herbs and stuff like that. So that's the main market that you're doing. People who like to sprout things and drink, greens and stuff like that. It's perfect for that application as well.
Now, Danby Appliance is a 70-year-old company. How has the company changed to continue in today's marketplace? And really, what are some of the secrets that caused the company to flourish under your leadership?
Well, I come from a technology company background, so what we're doing is we're trying to apply some of the principles from the technology business to the more smokestack industry of home appliances. And the biggest principle would be speed and sense of urgency. But it also goes through to some of the other business success formulas that I use. One of them is fail often, fail fast, fail cheap. So bring a product to market quickly, see if it works, and if it does, then build 10,000 of them. But if they fail, having a failure does not make you a failure. It's best to try than to not try. Those people who don't try are the ones that never have a success.
Absolutely. I mean, very valuable advice in that. Now, you're also an investor and an advisor to many technology companies, including you were the founding board member of Research in Motion, BlackBerry, before that company went public. Now, I understand that Danby is a privately held company. So how do you as a leader, though, know if going public is good choice or whether you should or should not?
Well, at the time I took my first company public, I took it public because that was the way I needed to raise money. Since then, it's become more difficult to be a public company, and it's very expensive to be a public company. So you need to go public if it's the only way you can raise cash, but you have to be very aware of the expense, and the expense is not just financial, it's the time of the CEO. As a private company at Dnb Appliances, I don't get investor calls. I don't have to go on investor roadshows. I don't have to deal with Sarbanes-Oxley or anything like that. I just do things. Now, at the same time, one of our mantras here is do the right thing. So that's a great way to also run a business. How does someone know how to treat their coworkers? Do the right thing. How do you treat your customers? Do the right thing. Do you ship a product that doesn't work? No, do the right thing. How do you treat your suppliers? Do the right thing. It's a real easy way to run a business.
Now, we're talking with Jim Estill, the CEO of Dnb Appliances, and you can reach him at Dnb.com. And you're listening to me, David Cogan, with Eliances Heroes. Go be a hero, go where entrepreneurs align, and be part of the community. We have a ton of experiences going on, and you may have the chance, actually, maybe to meet Jim at one of our experiences. Go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. And Jim started his first company that he grew and sold that company and then became the CEO of the company he sold it to and grew it to a $2 billion company, and he started his first company out of a car trunk. Imagine if he had started it out of a truck, right? Now, you're in such a competitive market. How does one keep an eye on the competitors?
Well, I actually don't mind being in a competitive market if I'm a significantly different size than my competitors. So Dnb Appliances, we're about a $400 million company, and I often compete with $10 billion companies. That means if I see a $5 million opportunity, I want and need that opportunity, and we'll go after it with the A players. A $10 billion company is going to sort of say, well, we don't really need that $2 million order. It's not that important. We'll send our intern in. And I know that because when my business was doing $2 billion in sales, someone would come to me with a $500,000 business opportunity, and I have to say, I can't do a $500,000 business opportunity. It doesn't move the needle enough. There's other priorities. So I don't mind that there are competitors, and because of size, for instance, if you want pink refrigerators, I'll make 1,000 pink refrigerators. My competitors don't want to make 1,000 of anything. They want to make 10,000 of everything.
Interesting. Well, Jim, let's say that you were invited to your granddaughter's school to speak. What's one of the most important lessons in life you would share with them? And we've got about a minute left here.
So the most important lesson in life is not actually a business lesson, but it extends to business, and that is health trumps everything. So look after your health. Excellent.
Well, Jim, it started with a trunk, growing to a multi-billion-dollar company that you now became the CEO of after you sold it to them. You're a technology entrepreneur. You're an executive and a philanthropist. Make sure go to Eliances.com. We'll have the link here, too, so you can continue to keep in touch with Jim Estill, CEO of Dnb Appliances, Danby.com. And when we return, we're going to have the co-owners of Freedom Neuro Training, and you can reach them at freedomneurotraining.com and wait till you hear the incredible things they're doing.